Yo, what's up guys? So I played Livestream Spright at Ycs Rio. I was pretty happy with the deck choice. I thought it would be a really good call for this event. The reason why I decided to play Live Twin Spright was because I know that like the other decks, like the Yugioh Chillmans, are way more powerful, but I wanted to trade some of the ceiling away so that I can play a deck with more non-engine slots, and I figured that might be allow me to have more coverage into like other matchups. Like I was really afraid of like more of like the rogue stuff as well, so I wanted to play like something that had like more non-engine slots and like basically a rogue killer in my opinion. Yeah, shout out to like Cam, Joshua Schmidt, Nesh, for helping me out with the deck. You know, they're insane. Appreciate them a lot. And yeah, and then shout out to Gunther for just being Gunther. But yeah, let's get right into it. I'll show you guys what I played. Alright guys. Alright, so here's what I played. I played 2 blue, and I played 1 pink and then 1 frost. I think these are like the ratios that I feel like is ideal. Essentially, I didn't want too many normal summons because when you open too many normal summons, your hand really clogs up. So I figured this was like a really good ratio, just 2 blue, 1 pink. Blue's the best one because it can summon frost. Let's get into now. That's like pretty much the Live Twin engine. Then you have the Swell Frog engine. I decided to bump Swell Frog up to 3 because I think that it's one of like it's a really good normal summon when you combine it with blue because it plays around Impairment really well. So that's why I kind of want to just bump up to 3. And the third one comes up to make Ronin Totem summon itself one more time. And you want this deck to be like a really high recursive deck. So having the third swap is like really good for that reason. So then I played for the Spright engine, just, you know, the standard stuff: 3 blue, 3 jet, 1 red, 1 carrot, and then 1 pixies. So I can explain like the one that's not that obvious is the pixies. The reason why I played pixies was essentially because if your opponent tries to like threaten an attack on like Toad or Elf, being able to start it for blue in battle phase and then add pixies, make it so that they can't beat any of your monsters, is like really important, and because it allows you to like stick your boss monsters. So I thought this card was really good and it helps you out, like, you know, like there's a lot of Ignister math mechs. And if I didn't have like Spright Pixies, I would not be able to beat the guy who made Arrival round 1 for me. So having this in my deck lets me beat over towers as well. So like I said, it's really wild meta in Brazil. So I wanted to have like outs to those kind of things. So Pixies is like really powerful at that kind of stuff. So yeah. Then I played 3 Prosperity for engine, 3 Tactics. I thought Tactics would be a really good choice because it's basically Change of Heart or Mind Control on steroids when you go second if you really think about it. So I really like the card. I also thought like it would be really good to, if you go first, obviously it's just like broken. I thought people would still actually be on hand traps. And if you looked at the top cut, there's a lot of math mechs and they all played like 15 to 18 hand traps in their main deck. So I thought Tactics would be like a really good thing. And I thought that people playing Spright in Brazil would actually still be on hand traps because I didn't think they would transition to like more board breaker approach, which I played 6 Spright mirrors and all of them were on like hand traps. So so I was actually really happy I main decked the talents. I played 6 mirrors, I only lost like 1 of them. And it was actually some person who actually played a very similar deck to my regional deck list, like after the game we talked. So I thought that was like really cool that he got some inspiration from the profile. 3 starter, and then 1 Sunny Snitch. I felt like only playing 1 of this, mainly because I didn't want to open too many of the continuous and the normals because then you like start breaking on them. So I thought like just 1 was fine. So yeah, you have 4 normal summons, but they can also be like an extender and a time win con. The reason why I played Prosperity and I cut down from the Sunny Snitch was because Prosperity can be like not just a Live Twin. If you play the 3 Live Twin continuous and you don't play Prosperity, then like sometimes Prosperity grabs you like the Spright engine, and so I think that's really important, more important than playing 3 of the continuous because Prosperity is like really powerful for that reason. And Prosperity like post like side like gets you like any side deck card because if you pot for 6, you're gonna look really good. And ideally, so you can't draw. I know the Live Twin engine's purpose is to draw, but that's fine. You give up 1 draw on your turn, and you still draw 2 on your opponent's turn. So like I think giving up 1 draw to use this card like it's fine even with the Live Twin engine in my opinion. I know like some people would say this conflicts and you can't play it, but then I realized that like the card's just so powerful. I like digging for whatever you need. So I wanted to play it regardless. Especially like if you need to like dig for like a, let's say you're under mine and you need a mine out, Prosperity can like get you that card, like the mine out way faster, which I think is like hella important. And like I said, post side like against trap decks, Prosperity just grabs you like a card to like break their board. 3 mine. I took the board breaker approach. Like I saw Joshua's list and I really liked it. I think the concept of like cracking back, or like the crackback theory as I call it, is really good, because the Spright deck like always makes a board that's really hard to kill through. And so like the idea of this, the reason why the life twins I thought were really good is because you get to draw on your turn and draw 2 on your opponent's turn, so you draw 3 cards. And even if they break your board, you would have like 6 cards in hand and you can reverse crack their board. And it reminds me a lot of like how Salamangreat kind of plays. Or like how mid-range decks are like designed to like be played. You know, like a lot of the back and forth interactions, like not putting up like 6 negates and your opponent can't play. Like you put up like the bare minimum, which is still a lot, because if you think about it, like the Spright combo ends you on like 2 toad negates plus either an elf or no, plus either a starter or a smashers, and those cards are both interruptions. So it's like at least 3 interruptions. And if you open the life twin engine, it's like 4 interruptions because you get a pop as well. So like 4 interruptions is like really hard to kill through. And you draw 3 cards in the process, and that's why I like this version more than like Beaver or like Diva, is because Beaver or Diva or the Beckoning Beast, so they're good in their own way, but the fact that they don't give you multiple draws and like a lot of like follow up, like made me like want to play the Life One engine, because you get like so much pluses off them. I played 3 Econ. This card was like really bad for me, to be quite honest. It's funny because I played so many mirrors, so you would think this card's broken. But like honestly, like I never like really needed it. Like it was like clutch like one time, but like it was okay. Like honestly, like it was very much okay. I actually lost 8 dice rolls. I only won 1, and the 1 dice roll I won was actually against the mirror match, and that was the one game I did actually lose. So, but yeah, I mean this card was okay. Like I think it was like solid, but I don't know. It was like alright for me. It wasn't anything crazy. And then I played 1 Smashers, 1 Call by the Grave for the last 2 spells, and then 3 Impermanence. So I played Imperm because it's basically a board breaker if you think about it, but it can also like be a really good hand trap at clutch choke points. So like Imperm on Kalos is like so powerful, and like Imperm on Gigantic stopping 2 negates is also like broken. So it's like a board breaker, or it's basically a board breaker that trades for like with 2 interruptions in like the mirror match, which I thought was like broken. And then like against other decks, you can just hold into your own turn. You can also draw it as a 6 card, and like that trades with the elf, which trades with 1 negate. Worst case, if you draw it as a 6, so it's like still fine. And then like being able to like against, I played against Mystic, the Mystic Mindburn player, and game 1 I actually like would not be able to beat him unless like I literally set Imperm in the same column as Field Barrier to negate his Amano Iwado, so that it would turn off his Field Barrier, and then like starter has it at his end phase to summon Jet. Jet grabs me Smashers, and then mine dies because we control the same amount of monsters. His amount is negated, the Field Barrier is negated, and then mine dies, he can't come back. And then next turn he can't Metaverse me because Field Barrier prevents him from activating another Mystic Mine or another field spell. So Imperm was actually clutch for that. And like I said, it was just very good all day. Like I love seeing this card in my hand. I think it's 41 cards in the main. Yeah, Pixie was like the 41st card. I added last minute to out like Towers. Like I said, I thought a lot of people would play like Ignister, Mathmax, or like, you know, like those heavy decks in Brazil. And I mean, if you look at top 8, there's like literally like 5 of them or 4 of them. So I think the meta call was right. 3 elf. Yeah, it's not really much to say. It's just you just want to play 3. Like gives you the best follow up. 2 pink, 1 blue. With Prosperity, you just banish 1 of the pink, and it's fine to play just 1 and 1 if you Prosperity, because you can't draw anyways. So you only need 1 and 1 post Prosperity. I played Cerberus. Oh yeah, also shout out to Mateo. Mateo also like helped theory this deck with me as well. He got top 4 at Euros, and he actually explained why Cerberus is really good. So shout out to him for also helping out with this deck list. But Nightmare Cerberus is like a really good card, because if you get Hoffness, you get to Cerberus their Hoffness, but because you resolve Gigantic, they don't get to trigger Hoffness, and you get an extra draw. So it gives you 4 draws basically with Cerberus, which I thought was really nice. And then I played 1 Dark. I actually made this card very few times, to be quite honest. It's kind of funny, but it's still like a good card to just have. So that's pretty much it for all the links. No link 4s, no link 3s, anything like that. Just a bunch of link 2s. Mannequin Cat, this was probably the most broken extra deck card. Like I thought that, like, so basically when you mine your opponent, I actually played under my own mine a lot. I never actually like I never deck someone out. I usually just play. So like the idea is you go like normal summon a normal summon a level 2. Right? And you go effect, summon like another one. you overlay for Mannequin, you detach, and then you target like a shifter or something, and then you can summon. Like you target like a dark monster, or you target if they already have a dark monster on the board, you can target literally anything. Summon blue, and you can go blue get Jet, and now at this point Jet gets you like the starter. And then after that you can overlay these two for Gigantic, and then like basically you get to go like enter battle phase, attack over something, and then you can go like Chainlink 1 to Gigantic, Chainlink 2 Zeus, and then Gigantic can detach from the Zeus, and like that's super powerful. And you still have a starter, and you summon swap on res, and you can like end on like 2 negates, 3 negates basically still. So that's why like Mannequin was really broken, but not a lot of people knew about it for some reason. So like a lot of people were surprised when I summoned that card at the tournament, or they had to like read it. So yeah, Mannequin was like crazy. I play also another cool play is if I play Scythe in my side deck. So like you would actually leave this card up, and like if you played against Mathmech, which you know a lot of people may talk with Mathmech. Math was actually in the finals, which was crazy because I felt like my deck was like really well designed to beat Mathmechs. But like, against Mathmechs, you leave Mannequin on the board, and when they summon Circular, you can trigger it to target their Circular, and you summon a light monster from your deck, and you summon Scythe, and you just Scythe lock them. So Mannequin catches Scythe locks your opponent as well. Like that's just I thought that was just like broken. And then when you play against like the branded Despia deck. If they go branded opening, summon a Luber. A Luber is a fairy, so you can go effect, target a Luber, which is a fairy, and then summon the Scythe from the deck, which is also a fairy. I thought that was like insane as well. So yeah, Mannequin Cat is like really cool when you play Scythe as well in your side deck. I played 2 Gigantic. I don't think you need the third one. 2 is like fine. I played Sky Cavalry because I expected a lot of like Avermaxes, and this card is like really good at outing it. I actually played against a guy who made the Arrival plus Avermax, which was like really hard to deal with. But Sky Cavalry, like Smashers and Pixies all came in like really clutch to like out that board. I actually won that game after a full comboed me. 1 Downer Magician, their card is broken. It gets you extra materials, 1 Totally Awesome, and then 1 Zeus. So that's pretty much the extra deck. For the side deck, I played 1 Scythe and the 2 Sanctum. And then the 3rd Sanctum was basically a trap trick. The reason why I wanted to only play 2 Sanctum and trap trick was because I also wanted to side a pointer. So it's basically like I had 3 of each copy, and it only took up 1 less extra deck slot, which allowed me to fit Scythe in, and there was only 6 extra deck slots for the whole package, which I thought was like really clean. Red Resonator never went to time. I guess I did go into time, but it was a draw against Flunder. But other than that, I never went into time in game 3 and won off of Resonator. So yeah, it just never happened. Like I either like 2-0'd my opponent, or I drew with them against Flunder, which Flunder was like a really tough matchup. But yeah, but that was like the only time I went into the time where I had to like get a draw. 1 Reboot, 3 Evenly, 2 Storm, Duster, 2nd Smashers. I mean, I was very prepared for the backrow decks. I was prepared for like mine. But like I said, it was like it's just really hard sometimes to beat them. But yeah, these are the backrow cards. It was 3 Evenly over like 3 Storm because I thought Evenly would be like really good into like tier. Like if you evenly them, like they just like lose literally everything. So I thought it'd like be kind of clean. I know like they can like chain the trap, chain redoer, and like still end on stuff. But for me, that's like fine. That's like way more doable than like everything else. So I just kind of wanted to evenly them. But the main deck's already like really good in the tier, in my opinion, because you have like a lot of really powerful cards like Econ, Dark Ruler, Mine, like all those really crazy cards just help you beat the tier matchup anyways. And if you go first in the tier, like you're usually like pretty fine as long as you know exactly what's in the gate and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much the side deck. I don't really regret playing this deck, to be honest.